Yo, what's up YouTube? Welcome to More Trades. Welcome to the channel. Welcome everybody to More Trades. Welcome to the live stream. I hope the volume of the audio is clear. I'm gonna do a quick stream and show you my projection that I had early on today and what has happened ever since. I'm gonna look at Solana first, but I'm gonna dive into Ethereum. I'm gonna dive into Bitcoin. Probably I'll dive into Litecoin, Quant, DXY, whatever comes up, and maybe Wave. I'm in a trade in Wave, but I'm just gonna take a look at it and see what it holds for us. Now for Solana, I made this projection yesterday. If you watch my video that I posted yesterday, I believe it was yesterday or the day before, I said that I'm expecting Solana. We were right over here, somewhere around here. And I was projecting that Solana is going to have a dip lower, come test the value area low, only to run up to the upside to this level. However, we came down to the value area low, we stalled. It might not play out in the same shape, but I expect us to do something like this. Now that we've come down all the way, I expect this move, where I would find a possible rejection. Then I'm going to tell you why do I think this will happen. Somewhere around this zone, only to come down. This is a projection, not a prediction. I cannot predict things. I only project and see what might happen. Predict also, you could call it prediction, but nothing's accurate. I mean, it's not going to play out 100% all the time. Now, just looking at this chart, you'll be wondering, what are these lines? This is the value area low of the range. Well, I can pull up the line a bit lower since the value area low moved. It doesn't say that my projection is wrong. Value area high has moved much lower, but for now that is not significant for me, the value area high. I'm between the POC and the value area low. So see, that's the range. We came down, we pumped up, came, retest the value area low, and the possibilities of move to the upsides could be, even though we have this insufficiency down here that we might need to fill, but we could be going up first, coming into the POC and this region between the 0.618, sorry about that, 0.618 and 0.65 fib retracement. I believe it's of, I had this for a while, so I would say it's the 0.618 from this high maybe to this low. Nope, maybe this high. Why do I have that box there? I believe it's a 0.618 or 0.65 from somewhere. However, you can consider it a zone where the POC lies at this zone between 22.8 and 23.6. Now, I was saying that when Solana was looking bearish over here, and I could tell that will happen because we started rounding off, spiking up, and I knew the next zone of support is a value area low. Simple. Now that we pump up slightly, we could even see these regions, 22.8 to 23.6. Now, if you look at the EMAs, where do you lie in EMAs? Because that's important. That tells you direction. On the 15-minute, we're not doing very well. We did good. We pumped, looked beautiful. But now we're kind of stalling over here. You can see this in turn, this is a stopping volume candle. These candles have lower tick volume than this candle. So we're slowing down, probably slowing down to pump again or slowing down to dump. We weren't able to get above the psychological low, so we need to be aware of that. However, we are above the 50. The 50 is pointing up, and the 5 and 13 have crossed the 200. So momentum might shift to the upside for Solana. Looking at Ethereum, my next zones, I'm going to give you something for free over here. I always give free nuggets. I never charge. Haven't ever charged anyone for my trade setups. I post them. Sometimes I talk about them on my videos or even post them in my Discord. So join my free Discord. I post trades whenever I think I will be taking a trade. Now over here, you can see we have two levels coming up. You have the 1914 level and the 1920, which is a value area high. You clearly bounced out of the POC. If this is going to behave like Solana, then I would expect it to come between anywhere 1914, 1920, possibly to come down again. Just be aware, we have the CPI data coming up on Wednesday, I believe, and if it comes colder than expected or cooler than expected, then we can expect another rip to the upside on Wednesday. CPI year on year and month. So if it comes out less than 4 and they're projecting 3.1, it's going to be bad for the dollar, good for the markets. So you could expect a rip if CPI comes cold. However, the markets are pumping from now in anticipation of a cold CPI. So could we pump now and CPI comes out cold as ice, then we get a spike up and come down. We might do that. So that's for Ethereum. I'm looking at it on the 15-minute. On the hourly, you have a 200 EMA coming in here. All right, you broke it. It doesn't say you can't come and dump after that. You've done it before. You break the 200. You come over the 50. You have at least 2 hours up here. And then you start dumping. So you can say this is the first hour. You're going to have a second hour. Then you dump. But frankly speaking, I haven't entered a trade today, a short on Ethereum. I'm waiting for this patiently. I suspect it might be front run. That means the price could come up here and barely, not even touch it, and then continue lower. That could happen also. Whenever you're waiting for a level, that's what happens. But I'll wait patiently. Over here, I gave this setup in my Discord. And I told them I'm taking a long here. However, I closed my long, but I was taking a long from 1960. Because I saw this bounce from the, 1860. I saw the bounce from 1850. Look at that. Stopping volume candle, very strong one. Perfect stop over here. Like, it's just hitting the 1850 and not breaking it strongly. I mean, we came down over here and we wicked back up. So I'm waiting for that to continue higher. Had I been still in that trade, I could have made a lot of money. It would have been a nice one. However, you have this vector to recover at 1916. So it even makes it a more probable, gives me more justification for price to come up here. Recover the red vector. Value area high 1920, 1914 is another level. Or even come all the way up here, recover this level, 1958. That will be a beautiful entry for another short, in my opinion. That's why I closed my recent short. If you're in the Discord, you would see that I took profit and I posted it. Over here, this move, this looks very corrective. So I don't feel it's impulsive, but it doesn't say it could extend and further extend to the upside. 1-to-1, very close by, 1895. 1.618, 1929, 1.272. We know that sometimes C waves like to go to the 1.272 at 1910. So I'll keep an eye on 1910 as well if I'm interested in trading this. Level to the downside didn't change. Value area low is at around 1790. We have the 800 EMA and the 4 hourly coming in that region and 1785. As long as we don't break the 1800 zone, you have nothing to worry about to the downside. Once you start breaking the 1800 over here, I believe 1800, 1812, then you're going to have a flush out. You have insufficiency on this side. So you need to worry once you get below this. And when do you worry to the upside? For starters, if you can break above 1895, then you can have legs to the upside. You're struggling at this level. Look at that. This is on the 15-minute. Let's go to a smaller time frame, the 1 minute. See what's happening here. Are we losing the 50 EMA on the 1 minute? Because first you lose it in the 1 minute, then you lose it in the 3, then 5 and 15. That's how you look at it. So on the 1 minute, you could say even on the 1 minute, we're above the 50 EMA. So nothing bearish, but we could break down. Look at that. That is the start. This could be the start. You see these clues, these vector candles violet vector candles at the high, or green vector candle at the high that doesn't go further, another green vector candle at the high that doesn't go further, and now you have some sort of stopping volume candle over here that tells you that price could rotate down, but no guarantee. It's telling you price is starting to slow down. 3 minute time frame, 5. So the 1 minute time frame has given me the clue that this is a good probable point to start a short. I know 1895 is resistance, and we hit 1894.14. So I could say, okay, this is a high probable trade if I want to short it. As I told you, I'm waiting for these levels. But look, we are almost exactly where we sold off the last time over here. Look at that. On the 6th of July, a few days ago, 6th of July was a Thursday. We sold off and went all the way down to around 1820. Now, you look at it in this way and say, okay, I am where I sold off last time. I am overextended, very away from the 50 EMA. I know we're going to come back, but on higher time frames, it takes longer. And on the 1 minute time frame, I can see vector candles and some sort of stopping volume candle over here, violet candle, blue candle. Is telling me something, that there is a probability we might be coming down. So Ethereum is showing some signs of a short, but I wouldn't take it. I said I'll wait for 1914. I said I'll look at 1910, 1914. I have a level in the middle over here, 1916 and 1920. So 10, 14, 16, 20. I've given you the levels to look at. If it gets there, however, you are where you sold off the last time. Let's see what happens here. If it breaks, it will make a run for it, because it's a point where you sold off sharply. So if you're able to break, essentially you're liquidating the shorts that came in here. Yeah, you're liquidating the shorts, and that gives you more fuel to burst up. Let's look at it. 1914, 1910. Let's look what's going to happen. So that's for Ethereum. I want to shift to another coin, but I'm looking at Ethereum over here. So alright, I'll stop looking at Ethereum and I'll check it out from my phone. Now let's go back to the king. Bitcoin is king. Bitcoin, as you saw on the other chart, same thing. Bitcoin is doing the same thing. Look at those blue vector candle at the highs. It's consistent with a shift or reversal that might be coming soon, or an increase in volume all of a sudden. Same thing, 13.7, I believe it's for Bitcoin. If you break it, you're flushing out, coming up all the way up here. Everyone thought that Bitcoin is going to 27, 28K. Look at that. We might be seeing 31.5 again, or even make a new high of the year. This was this year's high, 31,533 or 525. Now let's look at another chart. Fibonacci levels. See, this is the importance of Fibonacci. For you who follow me, you know that I look at this. Look at this. If you had this drawn out on your chart, or at least knew the levels that I mentioned, this would be on the 6th of July. You would almost perfectly catch the high. Look at that. You could have gotten stopping out, but you would go to smaller time frames and look for a back test. You see it approaching a resistance line, you go to a smaller time frame, look for a reversal signal, look for a back test. Let's go to the 1 minute just to show you how it works. Trading is not that complicated. People make it seem so complicated. Yeah, you lose money, but it doesn't mean it's complicated. It just means probably this time your execution wasn't as good, and that's why you lost money. I want to go on the 1 minute and look at that same Fibonacci level. Oh, sorry, it was here probably. Yeah, let's look at that. That's the problem. In the 1 minute it gets distorted for some reason. 6th of July. Let's go to 6 and see where was the price. Yeah, it's a bit distorted. You can't see the fib level over here. Anyhow, let's see if 5 minutes will show me anything. 3 minutes. 3 minutes, 6th of July. I can see some sort of stopping volume candle, stopping volume, violet candle in the highs. 5 minute, same thing. Let's go to 6th of July. It doesn't show over here. All right, I don't understand why is that happening. Anyways, so that would be a perfect entry. Now, for my technical analysis, here we go. Bitcoin. Bitcoin is at the value area high. We came down on the 7th of July. POC, that's why volume profiles are important. POC wicked it. Anyone got in here is in profit. And we're blasting off. We hit the value area high. Now what's next? That's simple. You take a Fibonacci retracement from the recent spike up, all-time high of this year, to the low, and you look. You are the 0.5 fib. Bitcoin likes the 0.618 or even the 0.786. So I would say high probability by tonight, if not in the next few minutes, this zone, or even if it has more juice in it, this zone. That's a high probable trade setup for a short, if you're looking for a short, or a possible strong rejection point where you consider to exit your longs if it doesn't reverse at the moment. You hit the 1-to-1 extension of this move up. This looked very corrective. It could have been an ABC. 1-to-1 is fine. 1.272 could be next. Would bring you around this zone almost perfectly with the 0.65 Fibonacci, or 1.618 will bring you to the 0.786. So I have confluence in these two levels. So I'm happy with that. If it gets there, then I might even consider that the move to the upside is done. This move is done and we're coming down. But remember, if you pass the 31.6, you could be headed to the 32.5 to 32.8 region. Now going on the daily, you could see we have a high over here of 32.4, sorry. We could come up all the way to this sell-off point, this big red candle we had here at 34.3. 34.3, why do we look at it even? Because we have a CME gap, and we've noticed this year Bitcoin was happy taking the CME gap at 20K where no one thought it would go to. But we made another gap at 20K. Don't forget that. This is another gap at 20K. We covered this 20K gap. We came and made another one. And we covered this gap. Now we have this gap. Takes us up to 35,170 between 34,460. Yeah, that's for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, the big ones. The VIX is still bouncing, trying to bounce off this level. But today we lost it. This was an important level, 15.67. Strong candles, but we might make some piano teeth over here, then blast off to the upside, and that would dump the markets. You need to be careful of that. I haven't looked at this coin in a long time. I had a double top target over here. That means I was expecting a breakdown from up here. Yeah, I think I had this target made like this. I might be wrong. Let's see. And you bring that down. No. Let's see if it was this one over here. Let's bring it down. Actually here, I have another green line over here. I've done it before. So I was measuring it and my neckline was over here for some reason. However, target hit. Target was hit. And I posted a video of EOS a while back. I don't know, maybe months ago. And I pointed out the double top target, I believe, in the video. I had the POC over here. Obviously it was moved. POC went lower as price pulled down. You got more volume at the lows. Value area lows up down here. Value area high moved up. So some things have to be adjusted. Yeah, so this is a POC. Now what's there for EOS? Possibly you come back to the value area low at 0.837. and see how it acts. If it gets accepted, then you know you might see the 0.88, the POC, and so on. I took this fixed range volume profile if you want to profile the same fixed range from the 28th of May 2022. Yeah. So if I pull this back, 28th of May, and just take it for May 2022, like I've done for Bitcoin and other coins, to have it separately, I have one that is for May 2022, which is this one, and then I could have another fixed range. You could put as much as you want. You could put another fixed range for your current bottom range over here. You spent so many days here from the 10th of June till today. That's a month. Yeah, that's a month. And at the moment, you've been struggling down here. Looks very weak and pathetic. You've been struggling down here, trying to get above the value area high, but you're struggling. So if you get rejected over here, I could see you come down to the POC again, 0.678. I wanted to look at, I was talking about the dollar. I didn't talk about the dollar, but the dollar is showing weakness. However, long term, I believe the dollar is still in a strong trend. It needs some pullback. We've been failing for a long time. We need the dollar to give us a break. Since 7th October 2022, the dollar has been just constantly failing us. So we need the dollar to bounce to allow us to buy assets at lower prices. Next level of resistance, 105 on this chart, and on this chart, 103.8. Is it 103.2? Yeah, 103.2 is a level to consider. You could see how we rejected there almost perfectly as a double top. If we can get above it, I was excited when we got here. And I thought, yeah, red candle followed by a green candle and a follow through, then we'd have this level to get over, but it isn't doing the job. Now the dollar could be forming a triangle before another drop to the downside or to a move to the upside. Why am I saying that? Look at that. Retracement, almost 0.786. Triangles love doing 0.786 retracement. Now let's look at this one. It depends how low it will come. It came that low over here. Wait. And we came to the 0.618, very close to the 0.618. We might be forming a triangle, and this triangle might give us another move to the downside. Why? Because this could be a correction, which is not something bearish. It could be bullish. We could get an insane move to the downside. 96, 91, this is crazy, 82. But yeah, 96 could be in the cards for the dollar. You have a strong support at 100, but 96 could complete this ABC or WXY. It's a correction. And if I say 96 and I pull a Fibonacci retracement from this low, December 2021, you see when the dollar was at the lows, Bitcoin was at the highs. And as soon as the dollar started pumping, Bitcoin started dumping. So you can see November 2021, when we had this beginning of the dump, was somewhere here. The dollar just ripped parabolically like an altcoin, and you see what happens. So what do we have at 96? 0.786 and 0.65, somewhere around this region. That would be a good retracement for wave 2. And then we would pump to the upside. Targets to the upside, I still have them on 118. I can't see my other targets. I believe I had 114. Now let's go to just look at the Dow Jones, the Nasdaq. Look at the Nasdaq, a bit of negativity for the day. Dow Jones a bit negative, a bit positive, 0.5%. S&P 500. You see when assets are more than 1.5%, more than 1%, either positive or negative for the day, that tells you it's an accumulation or distribution. So you know what to expect. But usually when the Dow Jones starts moving in big amounts, like $500-600 moves, then you start seeing crazy moves in crypto as well. Now I'll take you to quant. Let's see if it's respecting the levels I have in the chart. If it's not, we're going to ask it to respect them. We are at a buy level. Look at that. I'm not telling you to long this or to buy, but this is a daily chart. And you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Over here, over here, over here. We've been testing it. And we tested it 2 days ago, and we're testing it again, and we're bouncing the 101.51. The thing is, when you're trading, you need to have tolerance to be able to withstand a drawdown, at least a loss of a few percentages of your capital. That's how you take the chance. You could trade at 101, say you go to 114, or maybe just a minute retracement of this move from here to here. You say 0.618, 108. So that's a chance you could take. Okay, that's quant with the levels. Look, we came all the way up, bounced down, up. Look at this, was a nice one. These 2 days were good. You took this long and you shorted it again. Now on the 1 hour time frame, it looks very ugly. No identifiable structure at all on this chart. All I can see is that we have a, I would call it a diagonal or overlapping pattern. Look at that. We had a 1 coming down. We bounced for a 2, came down a 3, bounced for a 4, came down possibly for a 5 over here, and now we're done. I don't know. It looks very ugly for me. Same levels on this chart. Litecoin, beautiful bounce from our level, $95. Remember when Litecoin was at 85, I said you could see 95, and if you pass 95, you could see the 101, 111 or 108. So you came up. You've been trying that for months. I've had these for levels. You can see where it's plotted. It's somewhere here. I don't know why I kept it here. Maybe we were in April of this year, but I think it was much earlier than that. You can watch my videos. But we came all the way up to my price was 111.68. We came all the way to 111.73. We exceeded it by $5. That's very funny. Look at the power of the TA. And these levels were just Fibonacci extensions that I had. I can't remember for which levels. Unfortunately, sometimes I delete I don't keep everything on my chart. It gets messy. Sometimes I delete charts. So now, after we successfully got to that level, look at that. 1, 2, another 1, 2, and a 3. And the third wave completed over here. The fourth wave came deep, so maybe it's forming another 1, 2, which could be very bullish. Because if you're forming another 1, 2, you could have a target of a 1 to the upside, 2, and your target could be the 1 to 1 or 1.618 even. Now, to see if this could be a wave 5, maybe. So I take from wave 1, which doesn't really look like a wave 1. It's very overlappy, but this is a 4 hour. Maybe if I dissect it, it will look better. From 1, if I say this was the 3rd, bring it down to the 4th. It's not the 4th. No. This really looks like a correction to the upside. It looked like it had, let me look at fib retracement. Over here, from here to here, we had a dip to 0.5 fib. That would be crazy if this was a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a big 5. I doubt it, but yeah. Fib extensions from here. The wave 5, if this was a wave 5, whatever it's called, if you call it a ABC or whatever, the third wave of this move, if this was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or it was an ABC, you reach to a reasonable level. Now, what would you expect now? If this correction was to the upside, That means the impulse that's coming is coming to the downside. But this looks like you broke the highs over here. So doesn't look very corrective. It looks more impulsive. But when you zoom out on the daily time frame, I could say that we could have a 1 or an A, a W, X, and a Y. It could happen. This is like a connector. And when you have that, you still have danger to the downside. But when you have that, you could go up to the 1-to-1 at 130. Now, where's Litecoin in terms of EMAs? On the daily, you're above previous resistance turn support. On the daily, it's not looking good. Your EMAs crossed your 5 and 13. No, they didn't. They're flattening out. So okay. 4 hourly, you're below the 50, but you had stopping volume candles over here. You could call it like a double bottom. Over here, you could start rising. You're above resistance again. If you get above the 50, then you can go up. But this was a good short opportunity over here at around 108. On the 1 hourly, you're above the 50 and you're looking good. Yeah. First green vector candle, you're going to the 200. Can you take over the 200 and the psychological high and yesterday's high? If you can break through this level, then you're looking good. Because essentially now you're about at the 0.618 or 0.786 Fibonacci retracement. You're above the 0.786. Above 97, you're invalidating this retracement, and this is a reversal now. Above 97.77, that would be above the 0.887 Fibonacci. There you go. Look at that. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's your move. Let's look at Ethereum for a second. Actually, I'm looking at it on my phone. Did I miss anything? We're getting there, guys. I'm going to go back to Ethereum. We're getting to that level I was talking about. I want to see the reaction. Oh, it looks like we hit it. Did we hit the 1910? I'm going to put a line at 1910. So I have my eyes on 1910 as well. And I'm going to put another line in 1916. And then I'm going to go to smaller time frames and see what's the reaction on Ethereum. This is way overextended. So if I pull up a Bollinger Band, if I pull up Bollinger Bands and look at it, look at that. Despite this move up, this down band is still vomiting to the downside. You're way extended. You need to come back. You will come back. Not you need to. You will come back. 4 hourly, same thing. It's crazy. But sometimes if you look in the past, you could have that crazy. Look at that. When we started going parabolic. Look at, we barely broke in and came to the middle. We came for a small retrace and continued higher. And now on the 1 hourly, yeah, we're above 15 minute. Definitely we're out. Now let's go down to the smaller time frames and we take a look. So keep an eye on this. I don't think so. I'm going to continue longer, but keep an eye on this and look at what happens next, because it looks like we're going to have a run up to 1910 or even 1914 or 16 or 26 or 20. Now look, that's the 1910 coming. 1910 is going to be quick. We have these vector candles telling me that we might have a reversal coming soon, but I might be wrong. This might be the run up before CPI data, so it might last longer, liquidating all the shorts only to dump it again at CPI data. If CPI data comes out, whatever direction it comes out in, doesn't matter. Okay, I've seen this yesterday. Look at that. Looks very familiar. I've seen it in wave 45-minute chart, and it was telling me something at that point. I was looking at this. Look at that pattern over here where you have vector candles riding each other and looks like a flag or piano teeth. It was telling me it's time to short. Shorted it, came down, and the next thing you got this big insane 45-minute candle. Look at that. That's a crazy candle. This is due a retrace. Now going back to Ethereum so I don't miss my trade. Cosmo trades 1905. Slowly but surely we'll get there. Anyways, guys, yeah. So keep an eye on them. If you get there, if you get to 1910, you start seeing more than not, you would see 1914. It's a level that Ethereum has liked to hit the past how long? Let's look at that. This is 1914, and this is a daily chart. Look how many times we come to it. One, we dumped, we came back, we dumped, we came back, all the way here. We dumped again, all the way down, yet came to 1914, even 1920. So we're gonna come logic, or how the volume profile works and how you should think of them is like this. If you are at a certain level, okay, let's do this. Where is my tool? Look at this guy, he doesn't even know where his tool's at. Where are the tools at? All right. No. I'll take them down one by one. So you could see clearly. Let's see, where's Ethereum now? 1898. Okay, we had a pullback. Okay, what I'm trying to say is, I have two fixed range volume profiles on Ethereum. To the downside at 1783, 1785 is a level to look at. 1666 is another level to worry about. Now what I'm saying is, when you have a fixed range volume profile like we do right now, Ethereum is bouncing off the POC, the point of control. When you bounce off the point of control, when you look at this, you can see that the most volume was over here. You can see the bar. When you bounce off it, you usually have this insufficiency, which could take you all the way to the next bar or the next value area. Same thing to the downside, and same thing from the downside. If you bounce from the downside, you have an insufficiency, you come to the next bar, probably here. You get above it, you come to the next resistance over here. And same thing from here. You come over here, you could get rejected, and you bounce back down. You get support maybe over here at 1900, being a round number, and a bar coming out. If you break it, you're coming down. Simple. That's how you should treat volume profile. You lose this volume profile, you look at the next one for the next range. You have the value area high over here, 1782. Then you look at the POCs way down here. If you start losing this level of 1600, 1666, you're in danger of coming down to levels of, you could see how 1580, 1570 is your next support. Then you have a big gap all the way to 1400 range, another gap. That's how you play the fixed range volume profile trading strategy. Now let's look at let me bring back all the drawings. All right, Ethereum's not giving that. I told you we might get front run, and that's what we're getting. However, this is not a very strong rejection candle. You could consider it. I would rather see it in a violet or blue or red or even a green color at the highs and looking like this with a big wick. I would rather see a lot of tick volume to know that market maker is in the game. Give you an example. Once you start seeing these at the highs, they could mean a reversal. Now you could see it if you shift down to smaller time frames. No, just a regular candle. Let's go to the 45. 45 still bullish. Look at that. 30. You have volume stopping over here, that's telling you something. You might come down at least to test the 1878. That's a nice $10 move. You can make money with that using leverage. Okay, on the 15 minute we have a red stopping volume candle. If it stops like that, you may most probably get another candle follow through. 5 violet candle at the high. Nice. That's telling me something, that you have a chance to short, Muhammad. You have a chance to short, but you need to wait. I mean, I need to wait. You don't need to wait. I'm gonna wait for these levels. 1910. I'll be looking at 1914 mostly, but if I want to FOMO in, to be at least at 1910. I'm not going in there. It's just a way of getting burnt. Yeah. If it starts dumping now to 0, well, I don't care. There'll be another trade. My capital is important to me. Bitcoin is doing that move. Oh my God, Bitcoin went up to 31. Wow. I told you, watch. I gave you this. 30,882, 31,170. Watch that. I suspect we might go and break last week's high. We're coming for it. Why? We've moved this far. In all altcoins, we've moved this far. We're coming back to liquidate the shorts. Definitely. This is going to open new doors for Bitcoin. This week might be a crazy one. Or I might be a crazy one. Let's go back to Wave and see what Wave is trying to do. Wave came all the way down here. I could have closed my trade if I saw that. It's alright, it's alright. I can wait. But Wave, the reason I entered in a Wave short, because Wave was acting opposite to the market. Look at that. This is when I talk on my playlist. If you want to look at it, or yeah, listen to it or watch it, finding tradable assets, or how to find tradable assets and trading for beginners. I think how to find tradable assets talks about this strategy. So on the 10th of July, 4:15 a.m. So let's go and see what example. Ethereum, 10th of July, 4:15 a.m. 10th of July, 4:15 a.m. Ethereum barely moved up. We moved down. We didn't do much. And we went up for the rest of the day. And then we came and dumped hard. On the other hand, this coin, 10th of July, 4:15. It started moving down at 4:15. Ethereum started moving up at 4:15. So it was moving inversely to Ethereum. So I assumed, by looking at this in technical analysis, I said, yeah, this coin is going to dump. No doubt. It's pumping out of nowhere. 4:15 a.m. Over here, Ethereum had this small pump, and that coin was already at the highs. So Ethereum over here was dumping, and that coin was pumping, and it reached its peak when Ethereum was at the lows. So I said, okay, now it reached its peak. Ethereum most probably is going to pump a bit, and that coin is going to dump, and that's why that's why I entered the short. But I didn't enter it at that level, unfortunately. I think I entered that level initially and came out of the trade and entered in another level. But there you go. Ethereum started pumping over here, and we started dumping. And now Ethereum and Bitcoin are pumping. Let's see if this is gonna dump or it's gonna go back in line with them. All right, that was a long one. Hope you liked it. If you did, hit the likes. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel and join the free Discord. But hitting the likes is essential in supporting this channel. That's the least you could do if you're benefiting or getting anything out of this channel. All right, before I go, have a blessed evening. More trades. I'm out.